Okay. I went over to the power miter box and I cut my mousetrap deck, 4¼ inches in length. Okay. It looks as though Mr. Hangin cut the mousetrap decks. They're too wide. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark. I'm going to mark my mousetrap deck, and I'll just buzz on over to the bandsaw, and I'll cut that to width. I've done that already with this piece, so I'm good to go. So my mousetrap deck fits right on there. Watch your fingers on the bandsaw. I'm gluing this guy on. I also I like to take my car and I'll find a piece of machinery and I'll set it on top of a piece of machinery because that's really nice and flat, and just make sure that my chassis is flat. Please remember, everything's getting fastened to the chassis. So if the chassis isn't flat, that means wheels aren't going to be touching the ground at the same time, and you're probably still thinking about that, like what could happen. So your chassis should be nice and flat. Any little glue boogies, just peel them off. So putting the mousetrap deck on, I feel though this is pretty secure, so I'm not going to go crazy with the hot glue. For some reason that I would have to take that off, if there was a mistake that I didn't catch, I don't want to destroy my whole car. So I'm just gonna go like this with glue, kind of like there. I'm just gonna make some L's on the corners. Before you start making your L's, please look. Make sure you have enough glue. You don't want to stop at this point and go reload a glue stick. Because you're going to end up with cold joints, as we talked about earlier. Move quickly. Be prepared. Have your things around you. Have them ready to go. Okay, it dries very quickly. I wouldn't go jamming your fingers in that excess glue. At this point, we're going to wait a little bit. I'll clean that off later. I'll tell you what I am ready to do right now at this point. Is I like to utilize the holes in the table. We're going to throw our brake rods on here. So the brake rod is just a bamboo stick. Okay, it's just an 1/8 inch bamboo stick. You drilled 1/8 inch holes. So if you shove the point through there, this one isn't so snug. Let's see what this one looks like. Ooh, this one's a little bit more snug. I like that guy a little bit more than the other one. And I'm just going to break this off. You can even take your little snips, any kind of little cutters. You can just temporarily give them a little snip. That's cool as well. All right, then I'm just going to shove the other one through. If they're a little snug, that's awesome. If they're not a little snug, we're going to add a little glue anyway. I just like to put glue here in basically 4 spots. I'll put a little bit there. I'll put a little bit there, and then on the inside, I'll put a little bit of glue on both of those, and then I'll just give it a little spin and just work that glue inside the hole. And basically at that point, I'm going to give it a little tap. Doesn't take much. That glue is ridiculous. It's wood glue, and just so happens we're working with wood. Okay, brake rods, I would let those dry a little bit. Just kind of snip them off here a little bit. All right, leave a little excess. The bamboo, it's really grainy. But after that would dry a couple minutes, I would take it over to a sander. Don't get all crazy. Don't get all crazy with that. Okay. You should barely be touching that with the sander. Don't put big sanding grooves in that. But basically, brake rods, and we're ready for axles. Rear axle.